With its attractive, funny, all-Asian cast, its progressive message, and its ever-alluring premise, Crazy Rich Asians comes to us as a pre-packaged hit with a feel-good frisson and a high laugh quotient that proves the rom-com is far from dead, despite the dire warnings we got last year when the well appeared to be well and truly drying out. Now, by any fair measure, Crazy Rich Asians is a stock-standard studio romantic comedy that dutifully follows three of the basic rom-com principles. One, the guy and the girl involved must hail from different worlds. Two, huge obstacles must be placed in the way of their true love. And three, that however unassailable these hurdles are, love must win out, usually with the triumphant note that custom must give way to a person's freedom to love whomever they so choose. Thus we meet nervous protagonist Rachel, played by Constance Wu, an economics academic thrilled to bits that she's on the event horizon of marriage to her super handsome beau Nick, played by Henry Golding. But she is nervous as heck about flying to Singapore to meet his family. She learns with gleeful shock that his family is not only rich, they own a big chunk of the city. The family's icily beautiful matriarch, Eleanor, played by Michelle Yeoh, is a stickler for tradition. So while she welcomes her son with a touch of warmth, she receives his betrothed with a death ray stare that nearly slices the girl in half. Seems that Singapore's super rich are big on inbreeding. Poor Rachel, alone in Singapore but for one advice-dispensing college pal, Go Piak Lin, played by Awkwafina, who was very funny here as opposed to her non-presence in Ocean's 8, has to withstand the onslaught of the rich sport friends of Nick and his family. At one point, she even endures an especially unpleasant and somewhat implausible attack during a hens outing. As resistance to Rachel stiffens, so too does Nick's resolve to follow his heart, though the weight of tradition bearing down on him does carry a toll. Now, based on the 2013 bestseller by Kevin Kwan and directed with verve and an eye for exaggerated colours and a lot of decoration by John M. Chu, who also directed G.I. Joe Retaliation and the dance movies Step Up 2 and Step Up 3, the film is a charming, all-round winner in all the expected quarters. And with its global gross thus far standing at around 90 million American dollars, it's more than likely to replicate that success here in Australia before going on to the planned sequels China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. To be clear, and despite what you might have heard, the film's success is because it's a funny, feel-good, crowd-pleasing movie, not because, or just because, the film-going public includes a lot of people with Asian heritage. Now, as with Black Panther, many lofty claims are being made on behalf of Crazy Rich Asians in the name of diversity, and how the film supposedly represents some sort of major breakthrough in the representation of Asians on Western screens. But, as with Black Panther and its championing of black actors on screen, the film is merely the latest in a long series of forward steps rather than a huge leap. True, Crazy Rich Asians stars a predominantly Asian cast, and good it shall be if this promotes more casting of good Asian actors who can carry a film and draw a crowd. That would be great. But Crazy Rich Asians is not the groundbreaker it's being made out to be. It's simply the latest logical progression in the growing prominence of Asians in Western films, something that has been evolving organically and with increasing momentum for more than 60 years. I mean, to cite just a few examples, in 2005 we had Memoirs of a Geisha, which had a mostly Asian cast, and so did 1993's The Joy Luck Club. Now, Oliver Stone never got the credit he deserved for the outstanding work of his Asian cast in 1993's Heaven and Earth. And in The Killing Fields in 1984, Hung S. Noir, who was also in Heaven and Earth, won a very significant Oscar for playing himself. Now, of course, we had Asians in Good Morning Vietnam playing opposite Robin Williams. That was 1987. Tom Cruise made The Last Samurai in 2005. How many examples do you want? Downsizing, which was just last year, featured a scene-stealing performance from Hong Chau. And everyone, for some reason, has forgotten Clint Eastwood's Letters from Iwo Jima in 2006, which featured an entirely Japanese cast and which was spoken in Japanese. And so forth and so forth and so forth. You can just go on and on. I mean, the more you look into this issue, the deeper it goes. Hollywood fell in love with Bruce Lee in the 1970s. Jerry Lewis made The Geisha Boy in 1958. Cecil Hayakawa owned much of David Lean's 1957 classic The Bridge on the River Kwai. And in 2000, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was released on over 2,000 screens across the United States and ended up taking more than $312 million worldwide, and all with subtitled prints. So while the all-Asian cast in Crazy Rich Asians is fabulous, it's certainly no shock and barely qualifies as a surprise. Only social justice warriors obsessed with the diversity issue would herald the film as some sort of landmark, as though the prominence of Asian faces in Western films was anything new or all that remarkable. It's virtue signalling based on the false presumption that cinema from other cultures is somehow resisted by Western audiences, where the exact opposite is demonstrably the case. Now, even the growing number of Chinese-American co-productions can be seen as the latest part in an organic cultural process that has been going on for decades.